double your strap power with this one weird No, but I do have a way of tying a soft loop strap around my hand that approximates strap arm wrestling and using that for exercises that have directly translated to the table. We're going to break it all down here. Let's get into it. The prevalence of strap arm wrestling has gone through the roof lately. If you talk to any old school arm wrestler, they'll tell you that it didn't used to be anything like this. In fact, sometimes you can just mess around for 30 seconds and they'll give you a strap. Now, obviously that's not true at every event in league, but you can go to any arm wrestling club and you'll find people practicing how to slip better. For that reason, whether you love the strap or hate it, you better learn how to use it. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about how the strap totally changes the game, and it does change the game. And then I'm going to show you a technique I use that has had a direct impact on my strap arm wrestling. First, if you haven't yet, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. It helps YouTube know that this is content people enjoy and also helps me know that. Now, I have this screenshot up of a relatively calm Matt Mask and pretty intense Marcio Barboza because I think it demonstrates pretty well just how the strap goes around the arm and hand. Side note, I want to see this match again. Now, if you look, you'll see the strap goes around the back of the hand between the thumb and index finger and also wraps around the wrist just below that wrist joint. The reason that's so significant is because without the strap, the only way to transfer force to your opponent is through your hand. And if your arm is producing too much power for your hand to handle, or if your opponent manipulates your hand too much, well, you're out of luck. With the strap, that's no longer the case. Whatever force you can generate through your elbow flexors, namely your bicep and your brachialis, will get translated to your opponent because you have that anchor point around your wrist from the strap. That's why people say the strap favors the power puller or the stronger puller. Now that's a little too reductive. It's more accurate to say it favors the person with a stronger arm. If you have a stronger hand, you'd actually prefer to be outside of the strap, generally speaking. One of the best tools for improving your strap game is the soft loop tie down strap. So it has a loop on either end and it's sewed in the center. And right off the bat, you can see it's much closer to the width of an actual arm wrestling strap than you'd get with, say, a karate belt. I'm going to get to that weird trick I alluded to, but first let's talk about the most basic way to use this to improve your strap game. We're going to take one end, we're going to put it over our wrist, and you want to get that strap right to about where a ref would put it on you in an arm wrestling match. So right underneath that wrist joint, you're going to take the other end and you're going to want to attach it to some kind of weight stack. And now there's a few different things you can do. You can do dynamic repetitions, keeping tension on that wrist the entire time. You can do dead load starts where you let the weight go to a rest so there's no tension on your wrist and then pop off, kind of like you're doing a start in an arm wrestling match and your opponent is dead loading you, or maybe you're dead loading your opponent. Then you can also do static holds. Just post and hold that position. Make sure you don't let your wrist kick back. You want to be pretty much exactly where you would be in an actual arm wrestling match at the start. People love to get all up in arms about what's the best way to train for arm wrestling. Is it dynamic repetitions? Is it static holds? If you ask me, mix it up. One of the most fundamental principles of building muscle and strength is variety. The body loves it. Building muscle, building strength is a survival function. It's an adaptation to a physical stress. And so you want to mix that up. You want to keep the body guessing and it will continue to adapt. Okay, what I just showed you is great and you should absolutely throw that into your routine, but what it doesn't get is that strap that goes on the back of your hand between your thumb and index finger. So now I'm going to show you how to put on the tie down strap in a way that gets it going both around the back of your hand and around your wrist, which is going to add a little more radial deviation, which is that knuckles up position. Okay, so I have one loop of the tie down strap here. I'm going to take my thumb, put it through, and I'm going to bring the strap around the back of my hand like so. And you can see we're already getting pretty close to that arm wrestling strap position. And then I'm going to come around with the strap, and you see that bottom strap here? We're going to go up, over it, and then through. Can you see what I did there? And pull. And we're going to tighten it up. You can kind of twist, pull a little tension, get the strap nice and low. And you can see that's about where we're at right there. Once it's on, you can pull this side of the strap here and twist your hand a little bit to get that tension where you want it to be. But now you can see I have that anchor point around my wrist, but I also have it around the thumb and index finger, which when I'm doing my exercises is going to force me to train my riser or my radial deviation while also training that posting strength we talked about, which in my opinion approximates strap arm wrestling much better than just having it around the wrist. I want to stress again that there's something to be said for breaking a movement down just into its component parts and training those individually. For example, putting the strap just around the wrist to focus on your elbow flexors, as opposed to with this new style I just showed you to train both elbow flexors and your radial deviation. But as always, variety is key, so throw this into your routine and see if you like it. And that's gonna do it. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps a lot, and I will leave you with one additional pro tip. One more tip: if you happen to have a great Dane at your house, he can be a great training partner for your riser and posting. Good boy. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.